Hey everybody, we are live. I'm David. This is HSG Gaming, and we are joined by Rich for the first time in a minute. You played 2-bit in the game back in Chapter 1, and you are
Yes.
returning to reprise your streaming role-playing chops. We are going to be playing some Cyberpunk Red tonight. These are still the interlude episodes, so we're not with the Night Runners. We are with the NPCs that the Night Runners know. Um, so I'll just introduce everybody real quick. Again, I'm David, this is HSG Gaming. To my right, on screen, I think, yep, is Rich playing 2-bit. And tonight you're going to be playing some other characters. We're going to start off with you playing a nice old Russian lady.
Via.
Yeah.
Gravia.
Gravia, that's right. Next to Rich is Casey. Normally plays Vinton, but Casey, tonight you are playing Booker, I believe, yeah?
Yes.
All
What's
right.
up, y'all?
Good stuff. And then next to Casey, all the way at the end, is GSSG. Normally plays Ta. Tonight, GSSG is playing Ion in the first scene. Oh my god.
Oh, no, Rich, you can't do that.
Dude, Rich, you can't mess me up like this. You gotta stay on cam. Now you're muted.
Wow.
I meant to hit my mute button, and I hit my video stop button. Did everything come back?
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
all good now.
Okay, so I won't stop my video. If I need to stop my video, I'm going to do this right here. You ready? Boop.
That's fine.
This
That's fine.
is
That's
already
so
the
much
worst
better.
Okay.
That is so much better.
You're good.
Jagos, you need all the Jagos, you need all the popcorn. I promise you. All
Are
right.
we there? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Welcome back. Okay, so
Are we playing yet?
we're trying real hard. So on the vertical column is of course myself, and then Ethan, who normally plays Silas. Tonight, Ethan, you are playing Pachinko, the tech.
Chingo. Yeah,
Yeah.
wait. The character will come to me as soon as you pull that random portrait out. That's how it works.
So I actually have bad news. I did not have time today to go out and fetch random portraits for everybody, which
This guy's
is
gonna have no personality.
which is terrible.
Just go ahead
No.
yourself until you find one that speaks to you.
There it is.
Just have to-
And actually, what I may do is like feverishly go and spam some into the thing, and then we'll be good. And then also in the vertical column is Katrina, who normally plays Dr. Violet. Tonight, you are starting off the first scene. We're going to be playing Hitchens.
Yep.
And we all know Hitchens. She was a fixer in the first chapter. And we are catching up tonight on what Hitchens is up to. So let's see here. Let me see. This person does not exist.com. Give me some faces. Oh, yeah. That is totally a pachinko if I've ever seen a pachinko. That is.
Oh
great.
wow! First shot.
First shot.
First shot. Here we
First
go.
shot. Here we go.
That makes me
Here we
nervous.
go.
There we
That makes
go.
me a little nervous.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, it should.
Man,
Just got it
Pachinko, bring the
first shot.
Twitch up.
Pachinko.
Oh, this fella.
I mean, nothing can beat
Oh, God.
Scratch King from last week.
I didn't
I
mean to do
think
that.
Scratch King.
Scratch King.
Scratch King was pretty great. But Pachinko here looks kind of like a Picasso painting because of the way the AI engine works.
Oh no!
So this is going to be
Those
good.
are the worst.
I love those.
Oh,
when it's like
creepy.
when the glasses are like halfway fused into the face.
Oh, yeah.
Or like there's half an earring or something.
Yeah, so this is Pachinko here in the
Okay.
thing. Give him,
Oh,
Let's give him a thing.
lovely.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on there in the background.
Right.
Yeah, that background's a little suspect.
A little
Like,
suspect here.
Is that a shoulder? Like, is he kind of got like some?
Oh, man,
I don't know.
that face is a little too young. Here we go. This will work for
Designing RPGs on the fly.
Yep.
Designing NPCs on the fly. That's
That's the way I do
the
it.
title of tonight's show.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's set the stage a little bit. I'll kind of forgo some announcements. We are again doing our interlude episode, so we are checking on NPCs between chapters 2 and 3. And we are in Center City of Night City during the time of the Red, which is where the Arasaka headquarters was nuked 15-something years ago. And this site is still rubble. It's still completely screwed. And what has emerged over the years, after everybody left the city and we're all now starting to come back, is a loose federation of diggers, security teams, and buyers. And the hot zone, as it's known, is hot, one, because there's still radiological activity here. I mean, the nuke going off, that radiation has swept away long ago, but it turns out in these buildings they were doing lots of like experiments and things, and their radiological stuff has not dissipated yet. So it's radioactive, there's chemical stuff going on. It's a really like gross, messed up part of the city. It's just this huge scar in the center of the town. And there are diggers who, when it's peaceful enough, can go and do digging projects. And then there are security people who are trying to keep them safe, and there are buyers trying to buy the stuff that they've dug up out of the ground where these buildings have fallen. The way I see it is kind of when Arasaka Tower fell, it probably took a couple of towers with it, just because it was a big, huge structure, and it probably didn't fall like flat or straight down. It probably like kicked off to the side and like disrupted a bunch of stuff. So we've got this.
Think of like Rey on like Star Wars. You know, Rey, when she was like, going into those old battleships, getting parts out. I kind of have that feeling in my head.
Totally,
Does that
totally.
feel right?
Yeah, it's very scavenger-esque. Yeah, and the deal is that usually it's open combat. And then like things will calm down, there'll be a general ceasefire, and then the digging teams can get back to digging. And right around the times the digging team has found something, all the other digging teams who have yet to find something go, I know it's easier than finding something is going and taking whatever they've found, right? So like whenever a team finds something, it has to be kept secret for as long as possible so that none of the other teams find out about it, kind of deal. And I need to find more faces. Oh, I already have.
So kind of like the gold rush back in the West.
Kinda
That
like
if
the
you
gold
found a
rush.
vein, you did not tell anybody because they would come clean jump your backside.
1,000%. 1,000%.
I like to repeat back what I've heard to make sure I understand it properly.
No, it's good. I appreciate you, sir, because you're giving me a chance to find more images of people.
Oh,
Legend
but if you
Keeper,
need time to
everybody.
look for more
Go check
images,
out Legend Keeper.
That's right. All right, so I'm going to get Booker in here real
we have a
quick.
Discord and a Facebook group and
Good. All right, Booker, here we go.
a Twitter. We have a Twitter.
Podcast every other week.
This is Booker here, our 19-year-old foreman that is the head of the digging team down here. And let's see here. Let's see if I can find a couple more faces. Is there a Hitchens available? Oh, God, not that face. That's way too young.
It almost looks like Booker is kind of fused with the person that's next to him.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, my
love
God.
it.
I found Rich's character. What her face would look like if she wasn't a Borg.
Are you on Pornhub looking for my character?
No, I'm on Gavria.
It's not a real person.com, I think.
Yep.
This person does not
Yeah.
exist.
It does not exist, right?
Gravia.
Yeah, Gravia is an old Russian Borg. She is a full conversion Borg Arasaka model. She's in her, 60s, almost 70s now. And this is Gravia. What she would look like.
Gravia kicks butt. Oh yeah.
As a solid.
Babushka. Not enough gray, but you know what? I've been converted. I'm good.
Yep.
Do I have like latex skin and stuff like the Terminator?
Yeah, so you have a face, but it bulges with the subdermal plating that you've got. So what other people would consider like skin for you is like reinforced steel and plastic that like has the pallor of skin, but it's actually quite like rigid and nodular. Like it's obviously machine, right?
If you cut me, do I bleed?
Well, you'd have to cut for a minute to get to the blood, but there is blood
Okay.
in there for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's
Did you say she was human or she was dancer?
Seems like pretty close to dancer.
Yeah. All right. I have Ion. I just found Ion. This is good. This is real good. Okay. So how you guys are doing this is you're in downtown. This digging crew, Booker and Ion. Let's name your digging crew real quick. I neglected to
The
name you
deep,
guys.
the deep,
Deep.
the deep. We dig deep.
What do you guys think?
We dig deep. Registered trademark.
You're both on mute if you're trying to talk.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I am too.
What would a 19-year-old kid name?
Right.
Raiders? The Raiders.
You know what? That makes sense from California.
Okay,
You know
cool.
what?
Such hip 19-year-olds. So hip.
It's Skrillex.
Skrillex.
what a 19-year-old like. I don't know.
Do nights, Ethan.
Also,
You're not that far removed, sir.
Oh my god.
Also,
Is this the face of Hitchens? I think this is the face of Hitchens.
I don't know that I've ever heard Casey's voice in such high definition. There's so much nuance there.
It's nice when you have a hooked up
podcaster.
It's nice when you have a good internet connection.
Yeah, right.
It is.
All right. This will serve as the face for Hitchens for today. We'll say this is good enough.
Okay.
Look at that. That's the face of mother love.
That's what it is for now. I never really found a face for Hitchens, so this will have to be good enough. All right. So.
Teeth.
So in downtown Night City, just outside of the blast zone, right outside of the hot zone. It's technically in the hot zone because it still gets bathed with chemicals and all that kind of stuff. It's still an unpleasant place to be. But there's an old reclaimed building. You know, there's business that happens here and that kind of thing. And the Raiders, who wear a lot of silver and black, the Raiders are in a back room. They have rented / fought for a back room in this building, and they've chipped out the floor and dug a hole down into the ground and then a tunnel out into the hot zone where the Arasaka building is. And this is one of the ways that they are trying to hide their digging efforts from other groups that are just digging straight from the top. You know, they get down there, they start digging with, jackhammers and all that kind of stuff. And, they've got security out with them. You guys, smaller crew, don't have quite so much security. You have gone this, sneaky side tunnel method to getting towards the Arasaka building.
Okay.
For the Oakland Raiders, is that what you said?
They're the Raiders.
Just the Raiders.
Yeah. That's how that works.
Silver and black.
That's right. Okay. So we are, again, in the hot zone. You are all in some kind of protective gear. Gravia, you may not be. You may be just full on Borg. You don't care, right? Yeah, who cares? Hitchens and Pachinko, you probably have at the very least respirators, if not some kind of full body, duck suit to keep you from getting blasted with radiation and chemicals. Booker and Ion, y'all's call. Y'all live hard lives. You go fast. Protective equipment may not be top of mind for this crew. May be about just getting the job done quickly. So you tell me, how is Booker dressed from that perspective, and how's Ion dressed from that perspective?
Booker would definitely be in jeans and top. And the only thing of protection he would have is a gas mask.
Okay.
That's about it. Maybe some goggles if he has to get down and start digging.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Ion will be a little bit similar. Probably only like a rebreather, maybe some goggles too. But a little more armor because he has security. So I see maybe like a Kevlar, maybe a light armor jacket,
Sure.
and maybe some some long military pants or something like that.
Yeah, especially when you're surface side, you definitely want to bring that stuff up. When you're down in the tunnels, it's probably too tight. Now, y'all have had to do extra digging because Hitchens has said, well, my security is... I mean, they're a Borg, so you need to make sure that that tunnel is wide enough for a Borg to get in. And so there's some effort spent widening the path down here just to fit everybody. So that all works. And then let me get... Hold on a second. I ran out of...
Dave,
Sir.
I'm wearing a traditional Russian dress. So
No, you're not.
even though I'm a Borg,
No.
I do like to have style. Yes, I am.
Nope.
Prepare for the
It's
cognitive dissonance.
It's Cyberpunk.
Nope.
Prepare for the cognitive dissonance as you manage two completely separate realities. There's the one that we're all in, versus reality.
I think Rich already does that pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he does it all the time. It's just now we have to do it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are in the little backroom area. It's kind of staring at this hole in the ground. Hitchens and Pachinko and Gravia. And you've been led there by Ion. Booker is in there when you get... Beautiful. Yeah, some Solid Snake action. Okay, fine. She's looking tough. I love it. And so you're looking in there, and again, the agreement is that Booker and the rest of the Raiders have not opened what they have found. And this is so that you as the buyer get first inspection of what you have sponsored them to dig out of this ground for you. And it's been expensive because they've had to do this side digging situation. Takes extra time and all of that good stuff. All right. So I don't really... Let's see here. Yeah, let's start you guys here on this tunnel, and then we'll get you guys in there in just a minute. Booker, how do you want to describe to Hitchens and team kind of what they're getting into?
I would have looked at them and be like, all right, Miss Hitchens. Lady. Got your tunnel dug. Ran into whatever you're trying to get to. I would advise you to make sure that you are ready, because if this is telling me it's Arasaka, they probably got traps.
I have a solution for
Whatever.
traps.
I hope so.
Your foot.
What is it that you have found?
Well, it's big, it's metal, and we gotta use our plasma cutters to cut open into it. I would think it's a vault. Possibly. I'm not sure. We found it. You want to take a look before we cut into it? As per our agreement. My boys did fast work. As fast as they could. Well, a small outfit. We can go down there now, or how you want to do this?
Understood. Let's check it out, shall we?
You all...
lead the way, my boy.
You descend the ladder there, Booker, and you guys have a nice sturdy metal ladder getting down into a room that you've carved out. This is where you dump a lot of gear that you don't want to take up and down the ladder. This is also a staging spot for dirt, so you bring a lot of dirt here, and then someone else pails it up, kind of thing. And so there's a kind of a larger room in here with a benching and a refrigerator and food and all that kind of stuff is in here. This is as close to a break room as you've got at your job. And everyone else, you all kind of filter down in here, and this is clearly a kind of already a rubbled area. There's already like signs of broken concrete and all of that kind of stuff where you're at presently. and they have taken effort to like get all the concrete out of the way, the big chunks out of the way, and they've turned like an especially large boulder into like a chair, just by the way it's propped up, is kind of near the wall and that kind of thing, just to give you guys a sense of the space that you're in. Gravia, you're a little tall, so you have to kind of hunch down in here, but there's enough room for all of you.
Security check. I'm looking for anything that could be a threat to the team. Do I, lots of 10s. Is there anything I see?
Yeah, so you have all of your auto sensors up, and you're kind of looking around. Both Booker and Ion are armed. You've like figured that out almost instantly, and Ion does have protective gear, but you know that in about like 3 seconds you could rid him of that if you needed to. So you've got full confidence in terms of what's immediately going on around you. Absolutely.
Mother, if you would take
I
point
keep
with Booker,
Hitchens
please.
in.
I'm sorry, go ahead,
Come back.
Katrina.
I said, Mother, if you would take point with Booker, please.
100%.
I like that being a Borg just means having like first-person shooter, like statistics
All the
and
time.
your like time to kill, like all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Yeah, like
I would look over at
FPS and your optics.
like there's probably a brief flash, like if you look at somebody so long that the HUD will tell you like how strong their heartbeat is, just as it reads the cast off EMF or whatever, that like little electric pulse that hearts give off, as it just detects that kind of crap.
I would look at Io. I was like, did she just say
Say what?
the hell?
What?
Cut out
Nothing,
the end
ma'am.
there.
Nothing.
No, like literally,
I'll be
Casey,
like,
I can't hear you.
oh, my
You're
fault.
breaking
I
up.
didn't hear you.
I would have looked at Io and be like, did she just say mother? Oh. Uh-oh.
And then Ion would do the head blown, like.
Well,
Is it like
You
subtle, or is it
mind.
the full like Tim
No,
and
it's
Eric,
full.
like-
Tim and Eric, yeah.
It's one of my favorite just segments of television, I think.
I'll look at her. I'm like, you first, big lady. I ain't getting in your way.
It is.
Oh yeah, I pushed through.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a relatively straight tunnel. You start to move forward. It's dark almost instantly. As a Borg, you don't care. You've got full. You can see all the spectrum here. The folks behind you, though, anybody without augmented lenses, you're going to need some kind of flashlight or something like that to light your
I
way.
would think Ion has like one of those like handheld or like shoulder mounted flashlights that you can just put on your vest.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, you
pretty
just
bright.
clip it and it's
Yeah.
cool.
It's probably teeth
I would
toward the
think-
back too.
I would think I would have
Dave,
special eyes.
Dave. I've got to
being
have
that I'm in-
LEDs. I got to have LEDs to flip on.
All right, so yeah, you flick on the LEDs and like this dull red starts to flicker and come on as these lines,
That's
framing
RGB.
framing your. No, back then they didn't know what RGB was. They just did R. That's all Arasaka knew about was R.
I was like, you are soft.
The real gamer setup going on.
No, not when this game was written. You had the
Oh,
one
man.
light.
Rough.
Yeah. So, but either way, yeah, you've got this illumination. So out in front of the group is this huge like inky black mechanical body, but it's emanating bright red out in front of it. And then you can also see some red casting off of it behind it as the lines kind of outline the various panels of armor that she has, and you can see like various ports and pockets where guns just appear whenever she needs them, kind of thing. And you're all kind of going down this tunnel, and you're taking it slow, right? Because it's still like kind of loose earth here. So there's like a moment or two where Gravia, your suit like warns you of like structural problems, and so you like kind of look at it a little bit and it looks like, okay, as long as you don't like start punching these walls, everything's gonna be okay. But there's moments where like just the structure of this tunnel is is suspect to your suit. And you have to kind of pivot right around a big, huge column thing, a big structural column that they just didn't blast their way through. They dug around it, kind of thing. And then you keep going. And you're all kind of going on this downward slope, deeper and deeper into the ground. And it's just this dark, kind of cold tunnel. As you step, you kick up a little bit of dust. You all have breathers on, so it doesn't really impact you, but you can see just with all of you moving through here, the dust is rising, right? And it's just kind of like making this, almost looks like in a dance floor, like the fog with all the lights casting everywhere. You can see little particulates of the dust moving through the lights and those sorts of things. Rich, you get to Gravia, you get to what was likely the thing that they're talking about. It's you're pushing past all this rock and everything like that, and there is this smooth metal, like black metal panel in front of you. Looks like they've dug enough around that, if they cut a hole, you could kind of like squeeze your way through, but not like walk in the tunnel that they've opened up. They've only dug about, 3 feet by 3 feet to expose this smooth.
All right, I
black
throw up
metal.
the old, you
Yep.
know, everybody stop.
Yep.
Kind of sign.
Yep.
Biometric scans. Do I get anything?
So this barrier in front of you is too thick for you to scan inside of. But as you're taking a moment to scan, you do note that above you there is something that's pulsing electrons or ions down into the ground. And it seems to be, it feels like you're getting like scatter of it. So it's not like directly above you, but little errant scatter bits of ions are hitting your suit. And this would be something that like a metal detector would give off, or some other kind of ground scanning equipment would give off, as it like casts ions into the ground and then waits for them to bounce back off of various materials.
I comms to Hitchens. Daughter, I think we have people above us checking things out. I'm picking up scans or ion or electron type scans from above the position we're in now.
Noted. Pachinko, is Pachinko a netrunner or just a techie?
Tech.
Okay. Pachinko, let's get a move on looking what this is. How secure are your forces down here, Booger? Is it just the two of you?
No, we got a couple other guys that can come on down if they need to. Mainly, keep the tunnels clear because the tunnel.
Do you have someone that can look up above? Look, do you have any contacts up above?
Yeah, we got a couple guys scouting.
Let's get eyes on whatever Mother is seeing or noting.
You can call some of your snipers. We got.
I like other snipers now. That's good.
There's some bullshit going on.
Yeah. you call up to the surface, Ion. You go out and call up to the surface. What do you want to tell them to do, Ion?
To just be cautious of anything that seems kind of weird, especially above where the site would be, and just kind of if anyone comes around, if you hear anything, notify us immediately.
Okay.
There is definitely a look to Pachinko when there was like snipers mentioned, just kind of like.
So.
Just kind of gives you a.
So Ion, you radio up and tell them to kind of look for stuff that's going on, and Pachinko, you're up front. You've got your kit open. You're getting all of your cutting implements out and all of that kind of stuff, getting ready to open this thing, hooking up fuel supply and all of that kind of stuff with your cutter. When Ion, you get almost an immediate report back from your crew saying, it's kind of garbled because of where you guys are. Radio signals aren't super great going through all this rock, but you all have worked that out as a team, so maybe you have like a little repeater at the end of the tunnel or something like that. But either way, Ion, you get the report from your surface guys that there's a bunch of activity in the pit right now. There's a truck pulled up, and there's about 5 guys with guns, and there's 2 guys sweeping with what look like metal detectors or ground imaging equipment, and they're kind of patrolling around it, and they're kind of right over the Arasaka building, the point of it. There's other groups out that have been cleared away at the arrival of this new group. So there's, there are other digging teams who have rights or claims to their corner of the hot zone, and that seems to be getting disrupted by this new crew of people who've shown up.
Okay, and then so Ion, well, not even just like Ion will say this to kind of everyone or out loud to Booker, be like, it seems like some big crew is here, and they're looking for something right over our spot, and they even moved out some of the other crews.
Get
Can we get an
confirmation on who that
identification?
crew is. Pachinko, let's get into this
Booker,
thing.
how deep are we underground, Booker?
Oh, you know exactly how far you've walked, Borg suit. You know that you've walked down about 15 feet from when you started, and you have traversed from that tunnel. You've traversed about 150 yards to the spot you're at right now. You would guesstimate, based on the surface imaging you had earlier, that you're about 20 feet below the surface.
Only 20 feet. If I had to pull a data and calculate the time we could have if they started digging, how long before they reach us?
It would take them a while to reach you. The thing that would mess you up is just tunnel collapse, because as they are disturbing the ground above, your tunnel would become less secure as they're shifting the weight above you. But you would have some time.
Shinko pulled down his welding mask or whatever it is that you have and just
Sure.
thumbs up and just goes to work.
Cool. Yeah.
Fairly quickly, like,
Io,
move it.
Yep.
Io, get an identification.
Just like a good
Get an
solo.
identification. And Miss Hitchens, if things go loud, do you think maybe not your mother, think she could handle some guys for us?
You shouldn't ask questions like that and where she can hear you. But yes, I believe we have it handled. Though I would like to do that without as much violence as we can right now. So let's let Pachinko do his work, but be on the ready.
Over the shoulders, big thumbs up. Keep going.
Yep.
You
I
see
brought
that
2
Ion?
guns, one for them and one for them.
Yeah.
You see Ion is getting a little nervous and sweaty, and he keeps muttering something to himself.
Okay. So, Pachinko, you're cutting into this thing, and this is rolled steel with what is it? Fused? Not fused. It's an alloy. It's a tungsten steel alloy. So it takes effort, like real effort, to break into this thing. Good news is that doesn't show up as well on the scans, but bad news is that it takes you longer to cut through, and whatever's inside likely is still intact, because this capsule, whatever it is, likely was strong enough to withstand all kinds of punishment during the collapse.
Yeah, I think Pachinko is probably just like constantly like fiddling with knobs and stuff on the fuel to get like the temperature just right to, as like he kind of hits different parts of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just working.
Cool. Yep.
Hitchens is going to turn on Ion. What's wrong, Twitchy?
It's that Arasaka curse. I'm not liking the situation.
Oh,
Yeah,
we on
strange
this
timing.
again.
You know it. Every time someone takes something from Arasaka, they die immediately and someone else steals it. It's the curse, I'm telling you. We better move quickly.
They're over. How many stuff have we going? We've been.
You're breaking up a
Facts
lot,
are on my
Casey.
side.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I said, how many times have we taken stuff from Arasaka? It'll be about it.
The curse.
Maybe worry about it, but look what we got. We'll be all right. We got you. We got her. We'll be fine.
Remember, there's a payday involved in this.
I'm
Should we
just
get
saying
out
we
of
move quickly. I'm just saying we move quickly to avoid the curse.
I suggest
Chico
we move
will-
somewhere rubble. While
Pachinko will stop for a second, turn around, and just go, shh, and then get back to work. Even though the talking was probably way quieter than the welder.
Then the welder, yeah. So yeah, Pachinko, you've got like your first like quarter circle cut, right? When all of this is going on, and before too long, you get your first full circle done. Now that you've got a good angle in there, and you're able to get your cutter in past the first layer, you can start working the softer metal behind, and start to work this thing out. As you're wrapping that up, Revia, those kind of electron ion pulses, you've been sensing them move around above you, and now they're no longer like scatter shots. They're now a little bit more directed, and as it seems as though they are getting closer to you, above you.
Okay. Can I do something? Oh, lots of tens. Can I do something where I can grab some of the materials or some of the electronics that are located in this area, move them to a new spot, and set up some type of beaconing, some type of kind of setting up a false positive?
Sure. Yeah, you yourself are full of these electronics and metals. You could move like down the tunnel and be that distraction.
Techie, can you do anything to explode my type of settings? Is there anything we can do to kind of really make me a hot spot and I can move away from this and get them off track?
the tech is busy, Mother. I believe that you have
Okay.
everything you need to
Just-
handle the situation.
She's just getting eyebrow the whole time. Like, what do you think I do? But it's just the eyebrow, just like.
Hitchens, I'll make it so.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Pachinko.
Thumbs up.
And so yeah, you go to move, and Gravia, sure enough, one of those scanners moves with you. You can feel the little pulses of it. And it's like kind of constant. It's not subtle at all. As they're moving through, and your suit is like alarming to you that, you know, we're being scanned kind of thing. It almost looks like almost like a target lock kind of thing, right? It's like, hey, there's something looking at us. I don't like this. You should murder that thing. And it tells you
Oh, that's not good.
it's like right here. It tells you exactly where that thing is emanating from, and it shows you like where it moves as the source of this emission traverses above you.
If I go back to the break room, how far away am I from Hitchens? You say 150 feet?
150 yards.
150 yards. Okay. Let's move back towards that area.
Okay. So yeah, you move over. Ion, you get a kind of a frantic call from the guys up on the surface. They're like, "Hey, boss, I don't know what's going on, but they're coming right this way. The scanners and 4 of the guys, we're out, dude." And they cut comms with you. Pachinko, you've got
WTF?
the door open. And you're staring into just this cool black room. And you can't see it all. You pull up your flashlight, right, and shine it in there.
Like a helmet.
Yep.
Helmet light.
Beep, beep, right. And you cast it in there. This room is is cool. The air is still. You can see your own dust starting to spill into the capsule. You're looking at something maybe, I don't know, 25 feet across from you. And you see this room that you're looking into is about, you're kind of towards the top of it. As you look down, it must be about 12 to 14 feet tall. This lozenge, you're kind of near the roof of it. And down below you, as you watch like kind of your stuff spill into here, you see these big ominous black towers that are standing perfectly still like little statues. Just immediately around you, you see 6 of them. Each tower looks to be about 8.5 feet tall. And it's just eerily quiet. The floor itself is this kind of muted, reflective gray. You can tell it was perfectly clean back in the day. And your stuff is kind of spilling in here, making it dirty for the first time.
Would my character have flares on him?
I don't see why not. Sure.
Okay. I'll crack a flare and throw a couple flares and throw them in there.
Cool. Yeah,
just to get better light.
This bright pink, magnesium thing starts going off. You toss it in there. You grab another one. You toss it in there. And these 2 things clack, 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 clack along the floor, and they slide up. One of them bumps one of those black towers. The tower has a wider base, and then it goes up and has a kind of rounded, smooth top. And it's sitting there flaring against it. Your other flare went kind of, you can't really see it anymore, but you can see all the light that it's casting into the room. You've got about, as you glance around in here, Pachinko and Booker, as you're glancing around, you can see there's a total of 10 of these obelisks, really, in here. And over on the northern wall, you see this little, look like a pill, a little gray pill, crack, as little legs sprout out of it, and it like slowly, in a kind of a shuddering way, rises as whatever.
Are you kidding me?
Joints have not been maintained in such a long time, and it starts to like very gently put one of its skinny little feet forward as it tries to figure out how to walk. It's, now that you're looking at it, it's obvious that this lozenge is not level. As it like places a foot, it then readjusts so that the weight will be properly distributed, as this little like thing is very slowly and shakily moving along the floor.
Hitchens.
Yeah, Pachinko just turns around and gives a little like
I'll step up
spider,
to the
just like,
edge. Those flares reflect any signage, even like what's on the capsules, or the bigger ones.
Yeah, so you're kind of looking for labels, signage, that kind of thing. The one that's like kind of close to one of those flares, you can see an 003 written on one of them, and the one next to it 004. And so it looks like each one is designated some kind of numbering system. And then there's like Japanese characters after that. I don't think that Hitchens would know Japanese, so she probably can't read those labels.
Would I have done any research on? Well, I'm sure that there's tons of different things that could be here, but
Right.
anything that matches.
Yeah, so you're looking at one of 2 things. You are either looking at a bay full of power armor, or you're looking at a data center. And based on the shape and distribution of these things, you're probably looking at power armor, because they're all separated out. There's one standing alone, and then another one standing alone. And so what's in here, if all that stuff is intact, is worth lots and lots of scratch.
Okay. Mother, I'll calm to her. We have two problems. Weird spider thing within the chamber, and whatever's going on above. But we must secure this location.
His death's daughter. I'll be there soon. And I hightail it back with my bionic $6 million man legs
Yeah,
back down towards them.
yeah. You can all feel her coming. The ground.
Oh, that makes room.
Yeah, that makes the room feel real small. As it's almost like a force of nature is arriving, kind of thing.
Just step back, Pachinko. Like,
Yeah,
just smoothly step back.
yeah, and you get back, Gravia, and you're looking through this hole, and you can see this. Like think of it like a vertical pill, and it like sprouted, four legs as it's like shakily. It's like maybe halfway towards one of the flares now, kind of thing, and as you look at it, you can see it has like a little ring of sensors around the top, and when you show up, it like pauses and tries to connect with you. You see a transmission asking for your designation, your employee ID.
Which you should have because you're
Okay.
Arasaka. Right?
Do I have employee ID? Yes.
You were, before the Fourth Corporate War, you were an Arasaka employee. So, sure.
Okay.
It's in there somewhere.
Let's hold that.
Okay.
Let's hold that. Let's also, I should be able to see this Japanese. I should be able to interpret it instantly.
Yep.
What do I read?
Yeah, so what you see here is this whole room is an HRT kill team. This is, these were people that were probably held in cryo, waiting to be deployed to defend the building. And she would know about these people. I mean, she probably did a stint as building security before. And they're in like super well armored rooms. The idea is that nobody can get in and mess with them while they're in cryo. And they can be deployed with very little notice. And they're violent and vicious. And half of these people, if they were still alive, would be cyber psycho. They would have very little humanity. They would have very little hesitation to kill a lot of people. And you're, like I said, you're looking at about 10 of them here.
And I'm guessing maybe my last free action would be the idea that my scanner, biometric wise, the whole thing, I'm trying to see what they're made of, where their weak points are, that whole little, I got a HUD going all the time.
Yep.
What does that tell me also?
So all these boxes, they are designed to kind of prevent a lot of that kind of scanning stuff, but you can tell that these fall open, the 4 doors fall open so that the suits can walk out, kind of thing. You're not seeing any like life signs, but that could all be shielded behind the thing. The odds of them still being alive after all this time are almost negligible. But this little robot says, ID, please.
Okay, transmit ID and also transmit command, stand down, further commands coming.
Okay. Yeah, you send that to it. It like pauses, and you see the whole thing like do a shiver, and then it sends back an acceptance. And
Baby
you see it kind of like
Little duck.
rest.
Yes, Mother.
I go, baby girl, my duck. I think I'm going to tell them you're in charge. By the way, guys, out of game, meta, right? Hitchens is our team leader, correct?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I say, they need commands. I can communicate with them. I need you to come up here so I can have them recognize you as the leader of the team and relay commands.
Yep. I will step to the edge to where our mother is.
Cool. The robot immediately sends to you, warning, threat detected, as it like shudders as it starts to like get itself back up off the ground. What do you do?
Incorrect, non-threat. I transmit immediately back. Incorrect, non-threat, team leader. I scan and identify and keep in your records.
It like shudders for a second and acknowledged. Scan complete.
That's the best damn role play I've done ever.
Good joke.
Tens, all tens.
Yeah.
And I transmit. Please accept. Hitchens, please say your full name with an ID code. I transmit to them. Accept verbal acknowledgement for leadership and protocol changes.
Right as you're saying that, you all feel like a vibration happening
No, we don't. No.
around you. It starts off like anybody who's, I would say like Pachinko, Booker, you're probably both outside of the shot of the circle, like maybe leaning against the wall, and you can feel the wall starting to tremble ever so slightly.
Hey, we gotta go today.
What's that from? What is that
I
from?
don't care what it is.
Stand up,
It can be
report to
anything.
my daughter.
Gravia, your suit is telling you that there's an imager right above you.
Okay. They are within 3 meters. Would you say, Dave? Could I say 3 meters?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. I report that they're within 3 meters because in the future they do not use the imperial system. It's all metric.
Arasaka certainly doesn't.
Back to you, Hitchens.
Arasaka's all metric.
Damn two.
Io, we gotta go.
Booker, Ion, get out of here.
Okay.
Mother,
we
you
gonna
need to
still get paid, right?
get out of here.
Iron's already
Gotta
left.
make- Best of luck. Transportation ain't my gig anyway. He books.
Cool. Yeah, you
Mother,
guys
you need to
head back up the tunnel. Sorry, go ahead.
Mother, you need to buy me and Pachinko time to identify what's down here. No killing in the tunnel system, please.
Acknowledged, Muddock.
Thank you, Mother.
How
Go
does
look at Hitchens, just like,
yeah?
what do we do?
We're going to examine what's down there while she takes care of things. And I imagine Hitchens has rope. I don't know why, but she does because you
Totally.
always have 50
Totally.
rope.
You're going into a tunnel thing. Yeah, you got some rope. Totally. Yeah,
So we'll tie that shit off.
50
and
feet of rope in every backpack.
that's right.
Everyone.
You head
Doesn't
down.
matter.
And the little robot, like when Pachinko shows up, goes like through a little like crackly speaker, says, "Warning, threat detected."
Scan is friendly.
It shudders. Acknowledged. Scan complete.
Good job, daughter. I'm proud of you.
Pachinko will just kind of turn off the torch and lower it.
Maybe later. Maybe later you can have it.
And after a moment, you see the robot like begin the very shaky, slow process of like moving back to where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like painful, honestly, to watch because it really can't move super well, but it wants to do it, you know.
Actually, can I just say sleep mode?
Sure.
Return to sleep mode.
It shakes, acknowledged, and then like you see it like retract its feet so that it's like barely standing, and it hunkers down. And you two are in this lozenge with now that you're able to accurately count everything, there's 12 of these pods in a sterile, flat, gray, like gray tiled room. You can see klaxons, you can see where this thing used to be hooked up to all kinds of security and fire retardant systems and all kinds of stuff. All that's been sheared away long ago. as it was the only like surviving bit of its whole floor. Probably was this one lozenge full of stuff.
Let's verify no biometrics.
Yeah. You start looking around, and you're poking through that stuff. I need to check in on Gravia. They're in the lozenge. How is she going to handle buying time?
All right, so I'm in an excavated area. I know they're above me. I know they're working down. I know that they need to get through the ground to get to me.
Yep.
So I'm going to look at the idea. Is there any heavy metals? Is there any large plates? Is there any support systems that they've been using that I can take? You know those pipes that they twist to kind of do things?
Sure.
I mean, we cut a big chunk right out of this box that's pretty freaking amazing. I think I want to get that. I want to shove it to where they're coming and start tightening that into place. And of course, guns up, baby.
Okay. Yeah, you take a little bit of time to get one of those. It's very common in like houses to have some sort of like support twisty thing. So you grab one of those support beams, the big support screws. You put the plate steel facing up, right, and you twist it up so that it's at least above your opening here. And you've got your weapons out. Down in the... Let's go back to Ion and Booker. Booker, Ion, you guys get back to your ladder. You're up in your workroom. Where do y'all want to go?
I'm leaving the tunnel. I'm heading up because there is a part of me who's like, this could threaten his payday.
Sure.
So he wants to, and he is not about that. Plus, he's really angry at his sniper support who just bugged out, and they're not getting a cut. They're not.
Sniper support.
Hey, I'm a kid. What
And
do you want? Gotta sound cool.
Yeah.
And Ion is just getting the hell out of Dodge because he wants to avoid that curse.
Right. So,
Ion.
you guys are up in your break room area. You've got probably like two ways out of here. One like into an alley and one deeper into the building. Which way do you want to go?
Where does the alley lead?
The alley leads to a space between this building and another building. It would give you line of sight into the dig site, but it progresses further away from the hot zone.
And then where does the kind of building other one go to?
That one probably goes into like a back canal of this building, where eventually you go to like an old loading dock, where trash and all that kind of stuff would be collected, and from there that's just a back and exit out of this whole building. It probably is another facing, that's further away from the hot zone.
Are we able to keep in radio contact with the group? Like, if we needed to, could we call Hitchens or somebody, or no?
One of you would have to kind of stay here to maintain that connection.
This is our pick.
Yeah. So Ion would say, why don't I go down this alley so I could provide a little what's going on top? I'll radio to you, and then you can radio to them.
Gotcha.
And if we need to leave, I'll let you know, and you'll see me running.
All right.
All right, cool. Ion, you crack the door, right? And you're out in this alley. There's like just refuse out here. There's just trash. People aren't like taking great care of their area anymore. There's just trash out here, and as soon as you open the door, you can hear the like roar of like jackhammers going off. That like stone, that metal on stone, clank, 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 clank is just, it reaches you from here kind of thing. And you look towards the dig site, and there's two guys with their backs to you, looking at the dig site. They look like gangers or diggers. They've got tan clothes, long black hair. It looks like they've got a sling of some kind of weapon slung in front of them, and they're both kind of standing next to each other, having a conversation about what's going on in the pit.
Okay, so 2 questions. One, are they heavily armored, or do they have armor at all?
Looks like they don't have any armor. You would take them for like either diggers or security for a dig team.
Okay. And then the second part is, do I see the actual jackhammer? Like, do I get a
You just hear
notice of
it.
like how deep are they? I
Yeah,
hear
you
it.
just hear
Okay.
it. Yeah. Because the pit is like you look out across and there's like a pit down into the ground, right? So the jackhammer is down in there, and you're just looking out across it. Really, across the pit, you can see their truck. You can see their big truck that they pulled up in, and it's like
Okay.
think of it like an armored box truck kind of deal.
Okay. So then I'm gonna just slowly back away for a little bit and close the door so I can get a little quiet so I can calm Booker and just tell him the situation and to tell them and what should we do.
Okay, cool. So down in the pit, and if in like a minute or two y'all get that notification from Booker and Ion. How does Hitchens and Pachinko go about the business of scanning these things?
I think Pachinko's probably looking for some kind of like interface that would control all this stuff, because I imagine there's like a panel or something.
Yeah, each one has like a little data term on it. You go up to it and brush it off, and you go to flick it on, and there's no life to it.
Is there like a obvious power source? Because I'd imagine as a tech, I've got like just some like batteries and cables to like power stuff on the go.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit of time to crack open the backside of this thing, and you get, you start ripping some cables out. I was like, oh, there we go. That's my high voltage line. You plug in your, AC converted. You've got a battery system with an AC converter in there to power this thing up. And
Cranking it.
yeah, yeah, you're sitting there, and sure enough, the panel starts to flick on, and this pod itself, there's like a little red LED border around all the panels that slowly comes to life as your power source connects into it all, and the panel goes booting, and right as it boots up, you get this word that there's a jackhammer outside, and that there's a couple of people at the end of the alley for you all.
How long? Hitchens would say to Pachinko, assuming he'd know. How long for full removal of this place?
Gonna stop for a minute, and then kind of hold up like 5. With the question being 5 what?
No, she interprets it as 5 days. I don't know. I feel like there's this weird language that the two of them may speak of just he has no words, and she just he is Groot is what it is. So let's check, just watch for that status of booting. For the moment.
Okay.
Hitchens is probably about to make a phone. So
Okay. Yeah, it boots up, and the panel is in diagnostics mode. It's like low power, catastrophic failure, ask for passcode.
Yeah, I think Pachinko would show that, like the asking for passcode to Hitchens, then just point over to the like little spider robot thing. Like,
sure. Like voice command robot awake or spider awake or
Yeah, it slowly wakes up, and you hear it starting to like move around, and eventually it makes its way over to you.
Robot password retrieval?
Yeah. It probably doesn't know any passwords. So
She rolled all pins.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it tries as well as a little robot can, but it doesn't give you what you need.
Yeah. We'll just put that back in sleep mode. Hitchens' view is that they need to take care of whatever is going on up top, and she needs to get a removal team in here now.
Okay. Gravia, you've got the scanning stuff. You've got the shaking going on. What does Gravia do?
Are they hit the panel yet, or how are we sitting?
Yeah, you know the situation fully. They've hit the panel. They've got a little roadblock in getting the thing to let them in, but it looks like it could be done. It's just not super easy the first moment. And you've got this like team above you making more and more of a ruckus. So
okay,
yeah.
Can I tell the number of team?
You know that you have one imager above you, and you are deducing that there are 2 jackhammers working.
Oh boy. I say, Hitchens, we've got daughter. We have minutes. Before we have folks here joining us. What do we need to do?
We need them taken care of, Mother. We can't let this go.
Understood. As you wish.
Thank you.
I stand at the ready, Dave.
Okay. What is Gravia gonna do? You kind of wait for them to show up?
Can you go out and then
I'm
and
leaving
get them?
what's there. You mean leave the tunnel, go to the surface, and drop down through the hole?
Pretty much, yeah.
As you wish.
Right.
I go, Dave.
Cool.
Supersonic, $6 million man,
Yep.
The Boys, crazy V stuff. I'm running.
Yeah. Again,
A-train.
Booker, there's this sensation. You're in that room at the top of the ladder, and you feel like the ground under you tremble a little bit as Gravia is like hand over hand launching herself up this like ladder, and you like climb out of this thing. All the lights are full blaze, right? And one of the panels is open where you put away your gun, and as soon as you get back up, you've got your big Arasaka murder rifle, whatever that is, coming to your hand as you're getting towards the door that would lead you towards Ion and the back alley.
I believe that's all he would do. He would just point to the back alley, is like that way.
Yep.
And Booker would actually follow.
Sure.
Booker's gonna get mixed up in this. He's like,
Sure.
this is my money.
I'm sure he would. Yeah, I don't doubt it. So I want to cut with Gravia opening the alley door, and the 2 guys at the end of the alley hearing this like door slam open, like looking back behind them like, what the fuck's going on back there, as Gravia begins to secure the surface. And I want us to end there.
That was a very kind turn of phrase you used.
You can't end here, Dave.
Well, I can, because that's what we're going to do.
Know.
I know. And we will find out how that all went.
I want to know.
I do too.
What are the
Very nice way of
robots?
saying.
What is this chamber? How much data we can pull out once we get the passcode? Who are going to be in the pit when I jump down there? These are questions we need to know, Dave.
And that is what the next chapter of this Cyberpunk Red game will tune in later, folks.
That's right.
I have a feeling
Will we see Rich in a game again?
Busy.
Who is
Be able to
Gravia?
defeat
Where
the
did she
Winter
come
Soldiers?
from?
Wait a minute.
So
Oh, hell.
So yeah, let's pause that there. We are about time for a break. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little 10-minute break. When we come back, I have a little like an intermission scene to go through, just some exposition to give to everybody, and then we're gonna get into our next scene with the Midnight Runners and the Bigfoot tribe that are back at home, and we're gonna see how it goes with that negotiation. So we're going to do that scene next after break.
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Before you, are we still on break?
We're not. We're still live. What's up, buddy?
We're live.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, what's up with High Shelf Dab? Where'd that come from? What is that image? What's up with High Shelf on Dab? I just unlocked it and I went, holy smokes. Tell me about that photo.
Yeah. So we did a charity stream, and as a prize for the charity stream, I offered to dab for the first and only time in my life. And if we got the right dollar amount, which I don't remember what it was it like $300 or was it $1,000? Like, what was the number?
Hit 1,000.
Sounds.
It's a
I think we hit $1,000.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we hit $1,000, and I was like, all right, fine, we're gonna do the dab. And Rich, you were there. You were there when I dabbed.
Oh,
And
yes.
and so that was the only time I have ever dabbed. I'm not a guy who gets into that stuff. Like, I never planked. I never dab. You know, I just don't do that stuff. It's just not me. But it was a really fun like prize, and then Katrina turned it into an emoji, and now it's the
Very
official.
good.
That is the
I
most
use it
beautiful
constantly.
thing I've seen in the past hour.
I use it constantly. It's so good.
Yeah. Someone totally gave us $700 to make sure that we got our 10C notes in there.
I have
1,000.
Gift. I have it. in
And
a photo.
Yayos, there is a clip that is floating around there. There
Yep.
is a clip. You
Yep.
have to like go all Homelander to get it, but there is a flip. There is a clip out there.
Yeah. So that is the only time I will have ever dabbed in my life, and it lives time immemorial in the chat now.
I knew that was you, dude. I knew it. I went and bought it.
Oh, Jay
And I
goes
was
found the
like,
clip
"What's this?"
instantly. Do you see that? He found the clip
She got
instantly.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
Yeah. That's
We've
solid.
got the Dave Dab, the one and only Dave Dab.
That
And
I'll
dude,
ever
it's
do.
pretty rock solid. I was looking at that emote, your angle, just the force. I could feel the force in that one. Are we on break yet?
Oh my God. Okay, everybody, we're gonna go on break. We'll be back
Is
in
this
10
still
minutes.
live?
I promise. Yeah, we'll be right back. Whew. Oh my gosh. I gotta hide these things. Okay. Gotta hide these things. Okay. Whew. All right, folks,
Can I
we'll
go
be
to bed
back
now?
in 10 minutes to do our next couple of scenes as part of our interludes. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, hey, we're back.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. So we're back from our little break. I went ahead and took the liberty of actually like finding photos before the game actually started.
Dave, I'm not off break yet. What are we doing?
Mm.
Are we live streaming again?
Well, actually, I have a little like scene to give you guys before we go to the Midnight Runners and Bigfoot tribe with the family, right? And so we're gonna get to that conversation in a second. But before we do, I want to call us all the way back to the very first episode of this game. The very first episode of this game, we ran into a little telecommunications shack. It's a little brick building that was missing a generator and an antenna for communications. But inside, there was a dead guy. There was a netrunner who had bled out, internal hemorrhaging. And outside of that shack was a bunch of graffiti that said "Bug Zapper," and there were pictures of these big-eyed, like, think of like fly. You know how the flies have those huge eyes. Think of those, and there were like 11 of them, all crossed out. And so there's nobody around, right? And the camera comes in on this little telecommunication shack, and there's 2 more bug eyes that have been crossed out, up to 13 now. And we hear the door open and shut, and this voice, kind of a younger voice, say, "Holy shit, man. Fuck me." All right. And you hear him like open a zipper and start to pack stuff into it. Larger objects. You can hear things like rustling into it. And the camera comes into the telco shack, and there's 2 people laying against the wall. There's blood that has come down from their eyes, and they've clearly been dead for a day or so. There's flies on them. It reeks to high hell in here. And this guy, who has a big backpack, he's stuffing it with these cyber decks that netrunners use to hack, and he's grabbing both of them and unplugging them from the guys and putting the decks in there, and he kind of hoists the backpack onto his back and kind of shuffles it a little bit just to get the weight right, and his back is bulging with these decks in there. And he's got this like shaved head with a mohawk, multi-dyed mohawk situation, and a little bit of facial hair, like he hasn't shaved in a little bit. He's kind of looking at these guys as he, you can hear his combat boots squeak against the floor as he goes back to the door, props it open with this like longboard, a big skateboard. Props the whole door open, heat's pouring in, and he goes and grabs the shoes of the feet of one of the netrunners and hauls the corpse out of the telco shack. Hauls the second corpse out of the telco shack and just lays it down on the cement pad where there used to be a generator. And it's just quiet work. It's tough. You can hear him grunting. And he goes back in there and pulls out of his backpack a huge, like, I wouldn't say huge, like one of those like really long water bottles. Like you go to the music festival and they sell you the
Nagoline bottle.
Yeah, the big like $10 jug of water. It's all skinny and tall. He pulls that out of his backpack and pops the cap and just like hoses down where any blood pooled, and the blood like flows down along the floor. There's a little drain in the middle of the floor, and the blood goes down in there. And he kind of, after cleaning the room, goes back, shuts the door. You hear him like kind of punch the keys a little bit, and he curses about how like the lock doesn't work like it used to. But he still got it to kind of shut and secure the building a little bit. And he, takes his longboard and kind of walks out to this jagged little highway and leaves the bodies there. You see crows flying up above, and he gets on it and he does this little like movement with his back foot as the board spins up and starts to like propel him down the highway as he kind of leans forward to let it carry him back towards Night City. And two crows land, or not crows, but two vultures land by the bodies. And that's the bug zapper. Doing its bug zapping thing. And
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. That was great.
Good. Thank you. Not too far away from this scene, we find the Midnight Runners and the Bigfoot tribe have finally nursed their wounds back to health. And we've got the new leader of the Bigfoot tribe, Principal. He has basically inherited leadership of the tribe after the elders have either died or they're a little too sick and too wounded after the big hit from Petrochem that decimated the Bigfoot tribe. So Principal is here. E is with him. And we've got Benny and Hax who runs the armory here. And we've got Curry Goat out there. They're out in the animal yard, kind of having this discussion while Curry Goat is kind of in and amongst the crew. And to assign players to characters really quick, Rich is, of course, going to be Curry Goat. Next to Rich playing Curry Goat will be Casey playing Principal. And then next to Principal is going to be GSSG. You're going to be playing E tonight, is that correct?
Yep.
All right, perfect. And Benny is played by Ethan. And Hax is played by Katrina. Timeline-wise, this is going to be a week or two before the Midnight Runner Edge Runners are done in Sacramento, so that whatever the result of this conversation is, we'll have had time to come to fruition. Principal, you kind of asked Benny and the team if we could kind of get together real quick to have the conversation that everybody's been kind of waiting to happen. The Bigfoot tribe is as healed up as they're going to get. They are weakened. They could stand on their own they'd be in a tough spot, but they could do it. And so you kind of brought everybody together to kind of figure out what the next step is for the Bigfoot tribe, and is there a future between Midnight Runners and Bigfoot tribe, and if so, what is that future, kind of thing. So you kind of called the meeting. Benny and Hax are here. E is kind of a go-between. E was in Bigfoot tribe. She swapped over to the Midnight Runners with Dexy once she had formed a relationship with Dexy. So she's kind of the one that knows both tribes the most. But you've got everybody here, and these are kind of your decision makers, your leaders that are present. Because Mailbox and all the Edge Runners, they're gone. And you got to kind of make this call now while the getting is good, I think. So, Principal, I'll turn it over to you, man.
Well, Mr. Benny?
Yep.
So, first off, I want to say thank you. I didn't know about that black people. Looked like it turned
You're
out
breaking up a lot, Casey.
Is that better?
Yes.
My headset must. I apologize.
It's okay.
As I was saying, I didn't know about that Benton guy, Blackbeard. He seemed like and I gotta be appreciative of your kindness.
Yeah,
Heal up here.
yeah. Vinton's a real wild card sometimes, but his heart's in the right spot.
When we drivers, we don't stay put very long, and we gotta make decisions. I get it. I
Yeah,
guess cut to the shit room. We could be okay on our own, but we're a little weak. Lost a lot of good. What do y'all say we might work out a y'all seem we're scavengers by trade, so we do. But it won't be that hard to
Hey,
yeah, because you're still breaking up a good bit.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Hold on. How's that?
Yeah, that's better. I
Any
say
better?
just roll with. I wonder if just roll with your normal voice. I wonder if like the accent is like
Yeah, maybe.
kicking up
maybe.
something on the mic or something like that.
All right. Then I would, as you were saying, maybe we could work out a deal. We're scavenged by trade. Let me try something.
How many people are they bringing in, Dave?
So they were like probably about 110 people. Now they're at like 75, 80.
Are they families or
They are a
like
family.
children?
Yeah, they're a nomad
Okay.
family for sure.
Okay.
For sure. The challenge that they have is that they lost a lot of their fighters and they lost a lot of their elders. So what they have are like scavengers and like other family members, but they don't really have the kind of security they used to have or the leadership they used to have.
How's this? Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep it short, Benny. We don't have our fighters, and we need a place. As the pseudo leader, I guess, I don't feel comfortable putting my people out without being fighters. Maybe we can work out a deal.
You broke up again. Work out a what? I'm sorry, man.
Deal.
Okay.
Trying to do what you think is the principle.
Sorry, folks. That was loud.
The deal is maybe we can be more trucks for you. Farmers, stuff like that. We got Missy knows us. She used to work with us. Maybe we can just integrate in. We're scavengers at best. Find tech, sell tech. It's what we do.
So David, I think Benny's main concern would probably be like, could they pull their own weight to not kind of pull down on resources once the full crew gets back? Because we haven't really had everybody here while they've been here.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you guys have been sharing a lot of load, right? And they have a lot of workers. They have a lot of people who can do stuff, but they lack some fundamentals, right? So while some other folk get up to age, they could start to roll into security and that kind of thing. The one challenge is you guys are like a long haul family. You're a distribution family, a delivery family. So you have a lot of gear associated with that, and these guys are a scavenging family, so they have just a different set of gear, different set of skill set. So it's not that they would be a drag; it's that they would have kind of different skills than what the family has specialized in. And so it would just kind of change the nature of the Midnight Runners if they were to join full force. But it wouldn't be bad; it would just be different.
Yeah. I think Benny will kind of sit back and think about it for a while. Say, well, We make deliveries, right? We're not in Night City forever. Been near it for a while, but is that something y'all can do? If we decide to pack up and leave, find something to do wherever we go.
It's not what we're used to be honest with you, but wouldn't it be that hard of a change? We just take our operation. We're used to staying in California, to be honest. But seeing how most of our leadership is no longer around, we really don't have the stand on right now. I don't see why that couldn't be a problem. And maybe we can even bolster while you guys are here. I can probably make the change very. I used to be long haul, settled, the old girl. But seeing how things are not going as well as they used to, a scene of scenery change might be good for them. It's got a lot of youngins still that need to get up in age.
I hear you. And David, one last question. I think the last question Benny would have, or what he would know, is everybody getting along?
Right. With anything, there's conflicts, right? There's always some kind of like us versus them thing brewing. And Benny would recognize that for what it is. Two families sticking close to each other long enough, like somebody's gonna kiss somebody's lover, right? There's gonna be some kind of like squabble there. There's gonna be people arguing over equipment, that kind of thing, but nothing out of the ordinary, right? Nothing that would say that, well, they couldn't all get along, but there have been like little dust ups here and there, and that's just people being people.
Yeah, I think he's gonna say, well, E, what do you think? You've been Bigfoot and Midnight Runners. Think it's a good mix?
And so, I mean, I feel like E would just look very tired, just with everything that's been going on and making sure everything's okay. She goes, I think I think we could really work well together. What I was thinking is because we've been here for so long, we can be sending out more trucks. And while they're out, we have people scavenging, making sure materials are still here so we can still keep camp stocked and have more runners running. So I feel like there is some sort of kind of sympathetic or symbiotic relationship we can have here.
But we also got the concern that they got hit by petrochem. And what other enemies they might bring in with that? Sure, they've been living here for a short time, but what could happen? Like, we have our own problems, man.
We we haven't heard anything from Petrochem. It seems like if they wanted to do more, they had the ability to do more. They took their pound of flesh. I think it's better to keep more people and protect us rather than leaving them out on their own.
Ma'am, it's not like we defend ourselves. We still got fighters.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm
Poor
just playing devil's advocate and putting my thoughts out there.
I understand your concern, though.
I got a group to protect. We need equipment, arms, if we're going to be fighting whoever your enemy's with.
Say the same for you. Real quick, David, would he hear any being from the north? I'm probably sure he's lost all of that connection, but would he have anything trickling back? Would he kept any contacts up north?
So, he the Bigfoot tribe is mostly along the coast. So like San Francisco
Right.
and up to Northern California. They're like woodsmen, they're mountain men, that kind of thing. And so really getting on the other side of the valley over towards Sacramento is not really something they know a lot about. But Principal knows why they got hit, right? Because you and Blackbeard divvied up a bunch of gear from Petrochem, and Petrochem took it back with force, right? And so like that's what they were doing, is they were retrieving that gear that you guys had taken off that boat. And now they've got it. So there may not be like much more there, or maybe they know who you all are, and they're like they've like if if you see these guys, shoot them kind of thing. Who knows? But they have not harassed you since.
All right, then he would be like, look, I'm with he. They took the pound of flesh. I would say actually 10 pounds, to be honest with you. They've been leaving us alone. And after they've retrieved their equipment. That Blackbill fella, I guess you guys just got lucky. Divvied up the equipment. You guys offsold stuff, I guess. I heard a little town got produced up also. So that stuff was hot. But ever since then, they left us alone. I'm sure if they wanted to make sure we didn't exist anymore, I mean, we all know, let's not play fool here. Petrick can wipe all of us off with a snap of. So it's kind of why I'm like, if we all up together, we have a better fighting chance. But I do respect the that y'all have. Just looking for some help here.
And then I think, just before anyone else can say anything, I think it would be like, I think there really is an opportunity. We haven't been working for a while. And with everyone going out, with Bigfoot tribe going out and scavenging and getting materials, maybe getting information or jobs, and then sending the Midnight Runners to run, I think it would be a helpful benefit, and it'd be a helpful relationship, and it'd only grow our numbers.
As long as we can keep everybody, all our edge runners and everyone protected, which I guess we could do if we get more scavengers. I mean, there's also a pecking order here, right? We have like your leadership and our leadership. Gotta figure something out about that.
Being that y'all have been the gracious hosts that you are, any decisions that would come from your family would affecting ours, I will be respectful. And I will play along as best I can. I have to keep my people happy, but y'all have been gracious. I'm not about to spit on them. That's not how I was raised. So, if your senior command says otherwise, you jump. We're not trying to step on anybody's toes. Like I said, we just scavenge. Ain't trying to pick no fight. And again, very thankful for being as kind and helpful as y'all been.
I think the whole time that Benny's listed, probably just playing Curry Goat. It's just like, I'm listening, but I'm also like, oh, look at this goat. That's pretty great.
It's like a therapy goat. While there's
It's
a
a
tense
Benny's therapy goat.
while there's a tense
Yes,
negotiation
throw
going on.
Throw him a tin can or something.
Yeah, Curry Goat, you have 5 new kid children that are running around and kicking things and all that good stuff.
Are they with me?
Yeah,
with me.
they're in the yard with you. Yeah, they're around you.
Okay, I want to do a visual surrounding check. How many of the team members do I have around me? What's going on here?
Yeah. So Curry Goat does a quick tack check. You've got all 5 kids. You've got Mama Goat over in the other part of the lot, like, stocking up on water again, so she can keep nursing. And otherwise, the kids are around you, nibbling on your ankle and they're starting to tug on some of the shoelaces at some of the people that are standing around here in their boots.
I give them a little nudge, kind of just teach them some manners. Back off. Let's eat this.
As you start to tug on like somebody's like the tongue of one of their boots, starting to pull at their shoes or at the cuffs of their pants.
I like what Mike's talking about. That curry goat has like the same. I was imagining curry goat with the same setup as Gavria. Just like
Oh yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Then yeah,
target
like
scan.
there's like outlines of like not food, not food, not food, food question marks on a lot of things, and then like definitely food. So curry goat is like inspecting food question mark, not food. Food question mark, not food. Food question mark, yes, this is food. I love it.
Also, will
Yeah.
this thing give me food?
Yes. Tons of
Food
will this
giver.
thing give me food.
And to bring this all back, there is not one team member in view of me. I can't see one team member, or can I?
Oh, you've got your
Probably.
kids. You've got your 5 goat kids next to you.
That's it.
Those are your team members, yeah. Oh, and Mama Goat is over by the
Okay.
water trough.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I think Benny will kind of think for a second, and say, "All right, here's the thing. All this who's in charge of what kind of business? That's pretty corporate. We do things different out here. If you're in, you're in. Family means something. So we'll be doing things like we normally do. We'll just have a lot more voices to be heard. Now, if that's the deal y'all want to take, that's the deal I'm willing to make. Family or not. There's no in between."
He'll take a pause, knowing, and he just like, I get that. Does that mean we have to forfeit our family name, or can we just be part of the Midnight Runners?
So
Keep your name. Yeah, so you can keep your name and keep whatever you want, but we're going to be one family. You can have as many names. Family's got branches, but we're going to decide everything together. And, hell, them kids up there might bring more folks back. So, bigger we
Is
get,
that like
bigger
a
target.
thing with them?
Hell, you never know. But the thing is, the bigger the family, the bigger the target. And so we're going to have to be vigilant. Hack's at a point, and if it comes down time to move, we're going to move. And we're going to do that as a family too.
All right, I accept that deal. Like I said, California's starting to wear on my soul anyway. Kind of miss.
Yeah, you hang out in the desert sun too long, you're going to start looking like me.
Benny
Ain't
does
no
look
one
kind
more
of jacked
beautiful.
up.
There, I'm starting.
Ain't no one more beautiful than you, Benny.
Man. So I don't know much, but seeing them tattoos, I don't think it's all the desert. But I get what you're saying. But we accept those deals and those terms. And I appreciate your kindness of letting us stay. We'll do our best to pull our weight.
See that you do. And then he'll hold out
I'll
a
make
hand
sure
and
of
say,
that.
yeah, he'll hold out a hand and he'll say, "Welcome to the family."
Appreciate it, sir. And he'll shake it right back. Probably a little more vigorously than Benny was probably expecting, being a big guy like he is.
Bring y'all two together here in our little roll keeper there. Oh.
No, look at that. Look at that. So
You're both looking away from each other, but whatever. Boom. All right. Well, good. Okay, cool. So as a GM, that was what I was always interested in. I feel like we can kind of fade to black on this scene. I know this is a shorter one, but I just wanted to know what is the future of Bigfoot tribe or Bigfoot family, right? And it sounds like they're going to join the Midnight Runners as family. Implications here, right? Just to kind of wrap a bow on this one. In the world of Cyberpunk, nomad families become allies with one another. You guys are already close allies with Chromoxy, right? Now you have a third close ally / family member, right? You're closer to these guys really than you are with Chromoxy. You get one more, and you're pretty close to being your own tribe. Not quite a nation. Nation is a group of tribes, but it doesn't take much more family power to be considered your own tribe, and then you guys have a lot more weight to throw around whenever it comes to like how are we going to handle this or what are we going to do. You have teams of people to draw on to do various things. So this is one of those deals where by combining, you all have, it's true, you're a bigger target, but also you have more flexibility, more things that you all can do. So this will be pretty cool. This will be good. How are they going backwards? How did you do that, Rich?
You can edit the emotes with channel points.
Fuck me. Okay, cool. That's incredible. All right.
I had to highlight your emote.
Awesome. Well, everybody, this has been kind of a shorter one. I just really wanted to catch up on Bigfoot Tribe and the Midnight Runners and see what that was looking like. And sprinkle a little teaser again about Bug Zapper and what's going on there. I think that's going to call it for us tonight. Does anybody else have anything that we haven't done that we needed to do? I want to make sure that we're all good.
Dave. I took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that goat that you think I am.
Wow. Awesome.
And DMCA strike right there.
That's right. And we're out. We're gone. We don't exist anymore. Okay.
The song,
No,
but
I dropped the back.
Oh my goodness.
I made it a G, not a B.
That's right. It's like Ice Baby, you change one tiny thing and you're okay. Okay, cool. So let us go ahead and call it here, folks. This has been our second interlude. We might have a third one in us. There's like a couple more little groups that have been requested that we check in on. We may do that. We may just get right into chapter 3. I'm not really sure just yet. We'll figure that out this week. But let us plan to... Let's raid somebody. Let's raid our friend Cyberwolf. How about that?
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah.
I think he's doing Elder Scrolls. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he's playing Elder Scrolls.
He's doing Morrowind.
Oh, Morrowind. Whoa, old school.
Morrowind. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
old school.
And I think
I wonder what his
kind
death
of
kills that.
he kind of like pumped his character up to be super powerful, so he can just kind of get through it. Because that game is not easy to get through.
No, it is a longin'.
It's a slog.
All right. Well, folks, we're going to do a quick raid over to our jabroni friend, Cyberwolf, who's also in our werewolf game that we play one Tuesday a month. So let's all get ready to raid him. Everybody, thanks a ton for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. And we'll be back with either one more interlude or right into chapter 3 next weekend. So stay tuned. As always, everybody, have fun and play well.
may all your rolls be
All your
crits.
rolls.
Okay.
We can share. We can share.
Okay.
Oh, good times.
I gave